Okay, testing one, two, three, testing one, two, three. Okay, at least that is a thing. All right. Hi for any and all on any of the platforms I'm streaming on. Hi, I'm just currently doing some design work. Jordan here, by the way, doing some design work for the time being, and then just kind of speak my thoughts, process things that kind of been on my mind for a bit. What we'll be doing today is a lot of internal branding. Last time I did a stream on a past client that I was working on and working on his website and just kind of some introspection here. So I'm a graphic designer. I started a business about almost 5 years ago called JTR Presents. It really is more of an experiment than anything else, but it's a creative brand focused on helping community through art, design, and tech. And the concept more so is just helping people and businesses elevate their voice using creativity and then using the profits from that to create community service projects. It's The brand is starting to become more of a public benefit business or a socially conscious for-profit, partnering with nonprofits on different issues. So bear with me, it's going to be a lot of bumps in the road, but I figured I'd just share more since this is fairly new for me. Right now, I'm trying to get the music playing, if I can get it going. Let me see. Let's see. No. Okay. So that's a double mic, so let's see how that works. Let's see if I can get this back. Oh no. Okay. Hmm. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Testing one, two, three. No. Ah, maybe it's something on here. I'm gonna do a little more troubleshooting, and if I still can't get the music playing, then I'm just gonna go ahead and just go straight to the design work and just talk and just be okay with the dead space. Uh, let's see. Yes. Yes. Maybe it's because of this. Let's see if we transition here. Let's see. Oh, display capture. Whoa. Hi. Yeah, sure. Oh. Huh. That's really interesting. Just playing with different parts of this. Okay, cool. So that works. Let me see if... All right. That works for now. Okay. I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to be working with the audio. Or the audio doesn't seem to be behaving. Okay, no worries. All right, well, then I guess I'll just go ahead and kind of just think and chat, whatever else. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm doing a bunch of, oh, hold up. That would probably explain a lot. Okay, so here is some lo-fi that we're just going to be playing for a bit. Oh, I hope I didn't F it up. Okay, great. So yeah, I'm just gonna be playing some lo-fi pretty low, so copyright does not kick my tail. And open this up for the Twitch, Twitch. Actually open up chats so I can actually see anyone who's speaking to me. So I'm not talking entirely into the wind. Screen manager, chat, da, da, da. Okay, cool. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody, because my life, it's getting better. It's being put together. I promise. Okay, good. Those are mute. Let's see. Testing. It's getting better. Oh, that's not what I want. So I'm gonna go to YouTube. Let's see. I've done streams before, but not regularly nor consistent enough as I think I should. Gosh, my very first one, I think, was probably the best one because I got a lot of help from it. I did this. I did a live stream featuring Joshua Rashad McFadden a while back. Oh, so a little bit more about me and my business. So why JTR Presents is even a thing. In full transparency to it, like I said, it's an experiment. It's been putting all these concepts and things I learned in undergrad, grad school, and just doing certain things sort of ad lib and on my own, and trying to use them and start my creative career as the best way I could say it is a creative professional. So graphic designer, curator, artist primarily, and learning how to take all that I learned and try to give back and help as many communities as possible, because I want a big portion of the career and life I want to live to being about advocacy work and helping communities using primarily design. And big dream, like the end dream is like that I either run a creative arts center or am a head curator at a creative arts center that is trying to solve contemporary problems through contemporary art and design. And what does this big dream pie in the sky look like? And that's what I'm trying to iron out through this company. And so I've been I started back in 2016 when I did a live stream with Joshua Rashad McFadden. He's a social justice activist and civil rights activist through his fine art photography. And he has done a series of works documenting the Black Lives Matter movement in parallel to the Black Civil Rights Movement in the 60s. He's done a series about like selfhood, which is more so about like self-identity for particularly Black males. And he also did another one called I forget the name of it, but it was focused on colorism and sort of these Western European standards of beauty and how they impact women of color and Black women. And so uh, I think of artists like him or Stephanie Ely, whose work is focused on like the visually impaired community in a fine art space, which I think is pretty badass because it's like, how often do you see a space? How often do you see something like that in a visual arts gallery space? Which, according to her, has not been as open to the visually impaired community as it could be. So she was pioneering that, and I thought that was fantastic. So artists like these two, or like Aliana Grace Bailey about self-care, love, and like art therapy, or Nicholas Contreras in his body of work, challenging gender constructs, and so all these artists that I've had the fortune of meeting and coming across and wanting to promote them and help them in any way with their career while promoting my own is a sweet spot for me. That's where I get most satisfaction, is like helping others along the way as I'm helping myself. And so I think about that, and I carry that passion with me with all that I'm doing. And uh, instead of positioning the exhibition or even the artist talk as a graduation project, because it was also a graduation project it was also a graduation project when I was attending SCAD for grad school. And instead of it positioning as that, position it as like an actual live production. And so we were like, what does that look like? What does that mean? And so we were looking at positioning it as that professional community, and it just made sense. Like, okay, well, if this is going to be positioned as a professional community, let's go ahead and just push it like an actual business. And ever since then, that's where JTR Presents was born. It's actually a staple till I find a cooler name. But over the years, I've been thinking of it and looking, because after grad school, I was asked to do a lot of logos, and I was like, okay, I should probably know how much to charge for these. So I did some research. By research, just went to YouTube and looked up how to charge for a logo, and ran into the future and found out that was a whole podcast, and had all sorts of helpful things. And what got me listening to them was the stuff that they would talk about on the business end matched or was very similar to what I learned in grad school with arts administration, which is essentially business school for the arts and design. And recognizing a lot of what they were saying resonated with that and with stuff from my mentors from undergrad. So I went to A&T in Greensboro, North Carolina for my bachelor's in media design. We had we had done a lot of design work and focused on like how can we make art valuable to the community and stuff like that. And much of what my mentors were saying about, for us as creatives, what should we be focusing on, matches a lot of what Chris Do or Mr. Ben Burns talks about. So I wanted to stick around, listen to what they had to say, and ever since then I've been building out my business from their advice primarily. And I've recently started branching out to other professional networks like the African American Graphic Design group and the and AIGA. So now I'm starting to get into it and just looking at, okay, how do I build a graphic design business out of this, and then get to my end goal with that Creative Arts Center through this. So with all that talking, Jesus, for 15 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and technical issues. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've done a lot of previous work with this brand. And so for today, I'm going to review over the style guide and start creating brochures, like PDF brochures, electronically, so I can, in a more concise way, communicate to audiences about, what we are and what we do, who we are and what we do. Real quick, want to do another shout out. Christine Nguyen and Concrete Dahlia are two Portland musicians and artists that I wanted to promote for the next few live streams. I'm part of a marketing team for a theater out in Portland, and have had the pleasure of meeting so many talented artists. And so here is a promo of Christine Nguyen, and I want to play her while I get Adobe and Photoshop fired up in Figma. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and get right to it. So enjoy.
I'm not happy, but I'm not sad. Flux of emotions, my head's spinning out. I'm kinda stuck down on my luck. Don't know what it is, but I'm in a funk. Staring at the wall, can't shake what I'm feeling at all. I'm not happy, but I'm not sad. Flux of emotions, my head's spinning out. I'm
Bear with me again. More technical issues. Gotta love it. But yeah, I hope you're able to hear her a bit. So she is an indie musician, artist, and um, had the fortune of doing some promo work of her music on the way over. Let me pull this up. Okay. So with JTR Presents, and I should probably go ahead and just open this up. This is from another stream. Okay. So with JTR Presents, actually, I should probably go ahead and just open this up. Okay. I'm also gonna check the chat periodically because I do want to hear what anyone has to say or do. So give me a moment. I'm also gonna check the chat periodically because I do want to hear what anyone has to say or do. So give me a moment. Okay. And there's going to be a lot of cleanup. I can already tell. It's been a while since I've worked on. It's been a while since I've worked on this. Matter of fact, I need to see what's the most recent version. Here we go. Log in real quick. Okay, great. And anybody that knows how to open the chat version for anybody who knows how to open the chat version for Restream. Please let me know. It used to be where I just had a pop-up window and I could just see people's stuff, but tragically, anybody that knows open the chat version. But tragically, I couldn't. And I can't see anything. Okay. Ooh, and I hope I was not getting feedback. That would be unfortunate. Okay. All right. I'm just going to occasionally look into it and chime in. I should probably let people in the Discord know. Oh well. I'll worry about that in a minute. So this was the logo I recently started working with. Okay, yeah, here we go. So this was the logo that I started working with when actually I started with another one. It was something I made out of college, and then after some stuff with the future and doing some other design projects and doing logo works for other people, I was like, all right, now it's time for a rebrand. So I went ahead and did a redesign for JTR Presents, given with what it is and sort of the values and the beliefs, which as a summary, again, it's from this passion of promoting contemporary artists. I wanted to have this brand be a platform of spotlighting creative talent, new talent, emerging talent, and contemporary talent of artists, designers, and community organizers in your local area. So with that, there were a bunch of attributes that I started working with, and with that being, and I like this idea of JTR Presents being somewhat of a platform. It's very structured and almost like a stamp, like an industrial stamp in a bit. So then I kept the logo as such, especially with the boxing and everything. Here's the logo of itself in smaller simplicity, so I can't do the presents part, so like really small applications. These are the three main brand attributes, which for those that are not familiar, brand attributes are like the characteristics, what people could say if they could describe your brand or your company as a person. So very artful or artistic, professional, and understanding. And I know those are really arbitrary words. And so even looking at refining that, some of the brand research I'll be doing, or some of the refinement I'll be doing later on, is being able to further articulate it. But the idea of something artful or expressionate, and dare I say artsy, but there's still a level of professionalism, the sort of clean and modern. And whenever I hear professional, especially in a creative sense, I think about somewhat corporate, where there's just clean lines, color in places that matter most, or when you want to emphasize a point, and like everything has a really meticulous reason or point of being. And then there's understanding, which when I think about understanding as a visual concept, I think about connectivity and I think about complexity. So I think about these sort of webs of complexity that we're in, even when we talk about simple concepts. And when we start talking about the socially conscious projects that JTR Presents does, it is in the same vein of, even though we're talking simplistically about this, there's still a whole, there's several layers and complexities to them. So that's, for me, visually, and we can go, because the rest of this is just like schematics about what type to use, again, for that clean, professional feel. And then the actual numbers for color, CMYK if you're going to use ink and print, and RGB if you're going to be doing stuff technically, and then a hex code for them for web development. But now, here's the content that I'm talking about. So artful, expressionate, very artistic, from like the images that are chosen and how they're drawn, and just all these cool, fantastic, like artsy-fartsy stuff. But the sort of professionalism, again, in just from the written content, and from the typeface, the cleanness of it all, and that there's somewhat of a structure to it, and then understanding the connectivity and sort of matrices of it all, and just trying to combine those three to it. And then again, looking at some images to kind of further illustrate, and then a focus shot to create the idea and have like a sort of final stamp of like what content could look like coming from this visual branding and identity system. And so now we're going to, like I said, we're going to work on the brochures and start talking about this. Okay, and I opened this file up because I thought the brochures were on it, and I had to fix this because the import isn't really all that great. We'll get back to that later. I thought I had... Nope. Nope. Oh, okay. I thought I had a file for it. Never mind. I am going to open a new file. And actually, this design system, I'll worry about that later. For now. Cool. So a bit about the brand. So we have three primary services. You have photography, video, and visual branding and brand strategy. And ooh, last bit of ginger ale. And so I'm going to make a brochure for three of those options. So let me just go ahead and do a type real quick. There we go. For lack of a better word, branding, brand strategy. Oh. Okay, cool. It's a practice I'm trying to get better at, but it's very important that you like name your layers and everything. These are just going to be my notes, so I can start writing. And I'm no copyright, so any actual copywriters that ever see this, please verify for me. Copywriting in the marketing standpoint, and maybe it's important to start just putting in goals and purposes. So, real quick, purpose. Okay. So actually, you know what, I can kind of bullet point these because I think they will go hand in hand, but there's several ways to look at this. So to communicate effectively values to the prospect, clients, and on our services, to speak on solutions to prospect clients' problems. communicate our why, which is usually your mission, vision, and values. I mean, in a separate doc, there'll probably be more sophisticated content like personas and demographics of your target audiences, SWOT and PEST analysis on the people that your community, on the communities that you're serving, and on you as a business. And one day I'll get to that. That'll probably be a marketing service of its own. But frankly, I'll just outsource because there's some really cool people that I know that are way more sophisticated than I am on that. But for now, let's say target audiences. From a for-profit standpoint, hold on. Okay, cool. So nonprofits from a for-profit standpoint, the target audience I'm looking for are small, mid-sized businesses, so small, mid-sized businesses, and individual professional brands. So like celebrities or other professional writers or actors, actresses, fashion designers, and that want to have their personal brand out there. So individuals. Or actually, no, individual professional branding. And I'm going to use this loosely, but like social do-gooders. These are your public benefit businesses. Or socially conscious businesses is what I recognized it to be. And nonprofits. Boom. Cool. Okay. So this is the purpose that we're trying to get to communicate with. Oh, and just to make it blatantly clear, and this is what, on a personal note, this is what I've been really challenged with over the past couple years about how to articulate the multifaceted aspects of a brand and a business in a concise way that helps people understand. And from what I'm understanding, it really is that analogy to, in order to eat an elephant, you have to do it in small bites. I think I wholeheartedly agree and think that's probably going to be the way to go. That might be a bit much. Cool. just do it.
The trees.
Yep, right. Oh shoot, maybe I should actually distance that a lot further. Let's try 2000. Okay, gorgeous. And then we're gonna rotate this baby. Boom. And boom. Let's call that. Center it. So let's say branding, brochure.
The trees.
Video, brochure.
The trees.
Photography. Sure. And actually, since this is my notes, I can go ahead and make these into components. So I don't have to do it every single time for each one. Or build a model every single time for each one. Alright.
The trees.
Let's go ahead and just do the brochure part. Okay. Will you let me? Great. Let's see if there's anyone. I doubt it, but let's see if there's anyone watching in the chat. Okay, anyone watching, if you have any questions for a graphic designer, please put them in the chat whenever you get a chance. Hopefully I will do my mentors proud. So I hope. Strange. Oh, that's very strange. Nope, please. Boom. Man, I keep using this trackpad when I have a drawing pad right in front of me. I gotta break that habit. Okay, cool. Alright. Oh. Wait. I wonder, can I turn this into a frame? Can you get turned into a frame? Damn. Okay, no, I can't. That's okay. Ooh, but what I can do though. I can make you into a component. Boom. Okay. Let's B. Yep. And K again. Oh shit. Shoot. There we go. Boom. Alright, great. panel. Copy that one. 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. And then for the sake of my sanity, I'm just going to take you, copy that. Oh, shoot. Okay. Copy. Paste. Ooh, yikes. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, that'll be fine in life. Okay. And then, ooh, I wonder, can I please? Shit. 1. Oh, come on. Copy. I wonder, paste. Does that work? Uh-oh, it's pasting. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Huh, yay, I'm learning. Shortcuts are key, folks. If you know your shortcuts, please, 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 learn them for whatever software that you use. It will make your day a lot more doable. And I actually don't even need, I only needed these so I can place these guides. Sweet. Okay. And now streaming these out. Yeah, copy. And then paste. Oh, yikes. Let's make y'all 100. Is there a way for me to make them box form? No. May not know how to do that. It's okay. I'm gonna do this. And then this. With a dash of this. And then turn it black. Cool. Cool. All right, so I think I have at least the groundwork. So I have the groundwork ready for these. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how I did it at my old job. So I have these panels numbered essentially. Maybe actually no. Let me go ahead and build that structure out now. So go to assets. Panel 1. Ah. Okay, cool. So that worked. Panel 2. Panel 3. Panel 4. Panel 5. It's the right panel. Okay, good. And now panel 6. Great. Boom, boom. All right. So let's see. Panel order, and let's go ahead and get this big. Probably up to here. I'll worry about the type later. I want this big and I want it black. Can never go with black. You can never go wrong with black. Oh, shoot. There we go. Let's go ahead, bring this down. Let's see. So I'm trying to remember how I had it set up, but basically this is the panel order. So ideally, whenever people open up like a physical panel, I'm going to do two versions. One that's digital, one that's print. So if I ever decide to print anything out for like expos or whatever, in a pandemic, I don't see the chances there, but I want it done so I don't have to do it later. Future me will thank me. So with the physical part that you have to fold up, I think about it in terms the order of panels, in terms of what are people going to be exposed to first. And I'm trying to remember how I did it. In fact, I'm gonna go borrow someone's JK. I'm going to use my sketchbook real quick and sacrifice another sheet of paper. I'm just curious, for anyone watching, just put in the chat, but like, if you're a creative person, are you ever precious about your materials? Like, precious about the pencils you use or the paper you have? Like, if the slightest bend that's there, and suddenly it's like, oh, I can't use it. It's destroyed. It's tainted. It's soiled. I'm just curious. I was definitely that kid growing up. Like, I wanted to practice on like dirty paper or messed up paper before I tried on the really nice one. Or I wouldn't. Or if I had used another, hold on, there we go. If I had used an eraser, and then I got a new pencil with a brand new eraser, I would not touch that eraser. And if I erased something with it by accident before I used up all of the old eraser, I would be so upset. I was like, I'm wasting good eraser. Yeah, I was very precious about materials. So I could do a Z fold. If that's the case. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like that. I like it more so as like a book. You open it up and it's a book. So we're gonna fold this baby in. So this is what I was talking about. Digitally, I can just do panels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and call it a day. However, on the actual panel, whenever I print it out, so I'm going to call this one print order. The number of panel, or at least where I place it, is going to be like I want sequential. So panel 1 will be the cover. Panel 2 is when I open this up, reading from left to right, it's probably going to be this panel. Then panel 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the center. So let me go ahead and write that down for my own visual cue notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, 6. Okay, great. And this is important because, well, of course, with my little ass screen, you won't be able to see it, but this is super important because this is going to tell me as I'm making the frames for this. We're just going to do the back. Back print. And nope. Yup. Front print. Great. I'm going to call the front, well, and you know, this might actually be semi-inaccurate, but for right now, for lack of better words. So this one actually takes panel 2, with the front print being inward when you open up the brochure. So 2, 4, and then 5. And if you want, and the reason I'm doing all this is, again, when I get to designing, I can just go to the master copy that I made here in my notes. So we're back here. And I'm just going to, just for shenanigans, if it will let me, there. The actual object probably needs to be selected. There we go. So that's 1. Let's make 2. Kind of warm this up and understand the sort of gradients to all of this. Actually, have used this color. This color. This color. And then this color. Cool. So now I know. Boom! I don't have to do all that tedious crap. So that's already handled for me, and I can kind of know, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is also a good way for me to realize if I did the panels right. But anyway, so yeah, they're ordered. Because for some reason the name's not showing up. Usually there's like a little name. Maybe if it's a frame, we can do that. So, let's see, 3, 6. Move this down. Shit. There we go. Move this down. Sorry, forgive me of the language. And then 1. Here we go. Awesome. So that's the print order. And now we're going to go ahead and bring this down. This will be the digital order. Which actually, in hindsight, I could just do this. Let me just go ahead and delete this so I don't have to worry about it. Got it. Let's make this 0 so they're together. Space. Increase. Thanks. Okay. Same deal with these. Highlight those. Put 0. I promise you, I'm a professional. One day you will all see. All right. So front, back. So when people see the emails of it, they'll be able to see. Because a PDF, if this was going to be a brochure printed on actual paper, I reckon it would be around, 5.5 or 8.5 by 11 inches, which is letter size paper. So that makes sense. And then also put these in. Now, what I did not take into account here, and this was kind of tricky, because I know in Illustrator, you can actually put in the bleeds for it. The reason why I'm not doing this in Illustrator is because of the component feature. So I don't have to copy a lot of things. I can just do one edit and it just cascades to the rest. So now let's go back to our notes. So I want to get all the pieces in, all the graphics parts in before anything else. So because a lot of this for me is maintaining readability and legibility. So the text still reigns. It's still the more important things because people will actually have to read it. Now, if there are ways that we can use visual elements from images, pictures, colors, what have you, to sort of summarize or emphasize key parts, whether it's communicating value or showing as opposed to telling. So that's kind of the balancing act we're doing. And for me, I want to get the structure and composition in place and all of that before we really ever start getting down to like the written content of it. And so I'm putting all of this stuff in now so that I'm about to do, for me, it's the hardest part, but it's the writing. I am not a writer, I'm not a copyright. I strongly advise any and all, if you can afford it, to hire and or contract a freelance writer because they are trained in this matter and will be able to articulate your thoughts in the form of writing in ways that will get through to your audience. And as a graphic designer, I personally rely heavily on people who are either writers or either interested or skilled at writing. I'll do it as a necessity if I have to do it myself. But I prefer, if I can afford it, I'd rather just get someone else to do it. But with all that said, it's not the end of the world. Just as a designer, you're going to have to, be very careful about what you're writing, like spell checking and making sure there's no like errors or anything like that. Let's see. So I'm gonna go open up my Microsoft Word. Did I let people in the Discord know I was streaming? Okay, yeah, that was a thing. Okay, cool. Well, that's a thing. I'll get back to that. Ooh, while the program's loading, yeah. Okay, so while my Microsoft Word is loading, I figured I'd go ahead and share. So here's some of the previous work that I did when talking about what the visual brand would look like. And so I had 3 different creative directions from it. And again, part of the refinement is really from what I've done, so I'm not reinventing the wheel and rebuilding stuff. I'm gonna have to look at what else. Okay, I can't zoom in, so let me go ahead and see if I can open it in preview. Oh, good, and this is open, so I'll open that up real quick. My computer's trying to get angry at me. Okay, cool. So I made 3 different art creative directions when I started this. Okay, I don't know why my Zoom wasn't working. Okay, so I had 3 different directions, one and kind of naming all of it. So this one was, again, artful, reformative, balanced, and I was looking at these different attributes. What attributes did I want to list out? So I actually did a whole list of attributes in a 6 category, very similar to one that I did for another client a while back. Let's see if I can pull up their stuff. Actually, okay, good. Let's see. Oh, I thought it just went here. Boom. Sorry, y'all. It's kind of slow. Running like umpteen different things, and I'm pretty sure it's trying to capture everything and encode this poor thing. Here we go. Oh, cool. Before I get sidetracked. Huh. Where are the posts at? Okay, fine. I'll just do it this way then. when my computer decides to load. Here it is. So, actually, JK, no, that's not. I'll get to that one later, but that's also relevant. Here. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so these are the personas that I did for a client in understanding their target audience and the type of people they're trying to appeal to. These audiences, and I color coded it in respect to the creative direction we were going and the attributes that we had listed. But I made like a six category list of different brand attributes, and then thought about target audiences. And then from there, that created creative direction. No, that's creative. That's art direction. That was the logo that we were talking about. Huh, I may or may not have posted the, nope, there it is. Boom. And so this is the character attributes that I was talking about before. So here, for the client that I was working with, we had broken up into 6 different houses of your brand. And as another reminder, a brand is a gut feeling. It are people's gut feeling of you and your business. And so if your brand is about, if your brand is like Dove, where Dove is recognized, it's recognized for enhancing women's natural beauty or enhancing natural beauty. If that is what you're going to be recognized as a brand, then there's different ways in which that goes about, from your marketing to your visual representation. But there's these 6 categories that feed into that. So if I recognize Dove to be a health and beauty store, that is branding from my individual standpoint. That's my understanding of Dove as a beauty company. My understanding of it is it's a company focused on enhancing your natural beauty. If that's what their intended goal was, they achieved it. But ultimately, whether it's what they wanted or not, it's their branding, it's the way they're recognized. And so this is done through all kinds of things. If they were like a food company and I thought of them as a beauty and health store, then there's some mismatch with your branding or people's understanding of you. And so with that, we started looking at what attributes in certain aspects of your brand, of your company, do you want people to recognize you as? So in your culture, so as the staff, the people, the very people who are going to promote your company and its awareness, what attributes do you want them to get out of working with your company or with your brand? Your customer and consumers, you know, what attributes do they have that you want to be working with? Like, what are they like? And also, what attributes do you want them to resonate with? And but this is more so focused on your customers. Like, what kind of customers are you trying to attract as far as attributes and branding? Voice and tone. What do you want people to associate whenever they see a spokesperson talk on your behalf talk, or when a copyright is writing content for your brand, or say some schmuck on a live stream wants a live stream about you? What do you want them to be saying? And then the feel. This goes from the feel of being in your physical spaces, if you have one, or looking at your brochures or other content, from looking at anywhere where you have a presence. What are the feelings you want people to get? The type of impact, what impact do you want to make as a brand onto the community and others? And that X factor, which is sort of the quirkiness. So with the client, that's what these were. And I started seeing patterns and started color coding said patterns that then led to a creative direction. And so that creative direction, at least how I structured it, because it seems like everyone does it differently, I had went down and boom. So I had went down and opened this up, and this was more or less the three different directions that we could go as a brand, communicating outward to an audience that may resonate with this. So I had the name, description, there's code names, and so on and so forth. I do not know what happened, but I lost the documentation for JTR. Once I made the style guides, somehow I just lost the documentation for the attributes I did. This came afterwards because I started looking at what worked, what didn't work, and refined it. So this is way more refined, which is why I'm showing it to you. But with JTR Presents, going back to this, I started looking at these three different art directions with the top 3 brand attributes that I wanted to highlight and focus, and just seeing what that looked like, what that meant. Again, as an arts and design company that serves like businesses and community, but also as an organization focused on helping community through art and design, this was one potential direction. Let's see. And there we go. For the sake of convenience, we're just going to open these up. Oh, that is so rude. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go with this one because I did not, I didn't pick it. So I figured I'd just share the ones that did work. So socialpreneur mindset, which is basically entrepreneurial, but focused on social issues, rejuvenating, like using business and enterprise to help resolve social and political and economic problems. So that was the focus, and I moved the focus shot, or I did 2 focus shots, so one being up here to kind of set that concept. Again, more the logistics, what typeface and colors and such to make it look pretty good. The type of imagery, again, very business and social minded, and just talking about and writing even about what this design art direction was like focused on, and then the final focus shot to kind of focus on this. Hindsight definitely would change this image, but I just liked it for the color. And but yeah, so I look at this and was thinking, well, that's a part of it, but I don't think that speaks for all of it. Because one day, our social and political issues will either be resolved or they'll change, or the game will change and it'll be a whole different situation entirely. So, and at our heart, we are a creative organization and we're a creative institute. We're just focused on social-minded and people. And so that I really want to keep focused and highlighted. I rescind what I said before. Now that I recall more, I didn't do a thorough persona like I did with that other example when I was doing JTR Presents. And that will be part of the refinement, so I'll need to go do that and kind of follow up and reconnect it to this. But this felt the most appropriate. It's still focused on the artist by the artist, but with the focus on like promoting emerging contemporary talent, but still focused on people. It's currently focused on people and social issues. And so I feel like this would be the longer lasting one. Let me know in the chat or comments if you agree or disagree of the three design style guides that you just saw. I'll have them up here, just kind of for a moment, just for you to think. I'm really curious what you, the viewers, think about in that regard, given what I just shared, and I kind of threw a lot at you. Okay, now it wants to behave. 1 second. Okay, so back to this. Just writing, I need to, now that Word is probably uploaded by now. Okay, so let me go ahead, copy these. Oh, this is great, because like what I just said, this is why I hire a copyright, or why I look for a copyright. Right now, Grammarly, if it was not for Grammarly, you would think English was not my primary language, for how bad I write. There we go. Right. There we go. All right. Ooh, can I do a dictation while live streaming? If I can do that, fam, we are in business. Hold on. Honestly, I thought I saw it. Yes, there it is. Okay. JTR Presents is a creative service providing public benefit business focused on elevating voices through art, design, and technology, period. Yo, we're in business, y'all. This just made my day. Okay, oh great, I can just talk and things will happen. That's the future, folks, one day. Okay, so JTR Presents is a creative service providing public benefit business focused on elevating voices through art, design, and technology. Our two-prong approach is through creative services for businesses and personal brands, as well and the other is through our creative community service projects, period. Our purpose and goal is to help build communities and promote emerging contemporary artists and designers and help them for their career while giving back to the community, period. I don't know what that was about there. Boom, boom. All right. So that is the intro, flat out, period. Let's see. Again, to communicate effectively value. So let's go ahead and break this baby up into the three services. So branding, photography, and video. A significant number of startup brands and businesses go into business with the end goal in mind, but do not think about the non-verbal aspects of their business, period. Many businesses have a voice in what they're doing and have a why, but may not have it articulated through their content and creative forward-facing assets, period. Creative solutions that can close the gap of understanding between business owners, brand, and company with their target audiences using graphic design, period. With our services, we provide a set of assets to help you and your team be more creatively prepared at building an identity system that is visually consistent and helps reinforce consistency to build consumer and customer loyalty and trust, period. This is so fun. I can't believe this can do that. I'm all right. How are you? Cool. Enjoy your biking. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, hardly working right now. Take care. Mhm. Oh, okay, cool. I can edit the styles here. I will get to that eventually because these are not my branding. This is actually for another client that for some reason this got stuck. All right, anyway. Oh, what am I doing? This is heading one. Yes. Okay, wow. Do you have a story to tell? Question mark. Do you have a precious moment that you want to capture in the best light? Question mark. Do you yourself want to be represented in the best light? Question mark. Our photography service focuses on solely presenting people in the best light and in the voice that they want to be told in, period. Our photographers and photography can be considered as professional love letters to the subject, communicating the very core things that they want the viewer to know and understand about them, period. We also want the experience and the content to hold a sentimental value to you and those involved, as many of these occasions are personal or relate to a personal matter, period. If you want to document your first wedding or the birth of your child or an intimate moment between your loved ones, our photographers help capture this moment and tell those stories the way you want it to be told, period. If you, as a professional, want to be represented as let's see, if you as a professional want to be represented as anyone watching, please help me in the chats. I'm just thinking about, again, communicating value. Photography for, again, for personal brands, for communicating your vision, mission, why, to, you know, maybe speaking to your own prospects. You know, when you do photography, what are you usually looking for? I'm going off of personal experience with folks, and okay. Let's see, if you're a professional, you know what, how about this? As a professional, we want you to be shown in the best light possible for potential employers, employees, and others who are looking to you for expertise, period. Okay. Oh, you know what? How about this? Why don't I break them out into separate pages? Because I also have to do a breakdown of like deliverables and what does that look like. So let me go ahead and add something real quick. Page break there. Page break here. Cool. What was it? Was this in... No, it was in Home. Here in Dictate. Microsoft, thank you so much for this factor. I love this thing. This is going to be my freaking tool from now on. Okay, cool. Whether it's a special event or a live stream or a webinar, our video services are available to any and all interested, period. We have a staff that is familiar with the social platforms and resources one could use to build a digital presence using audiovisual content and can assist with your live stream needs, period. Sounds like it's having a hard time picking up my ands and ends. I have to probably enunciate a little bit harder. Insert a page break. Boom. All right. I don't want to add too much fluff. Boom. Okay, great. You know what? I'm gonna make this make that a subheader, and then put this general. Make that the main header. Okay. Let's see. So intro, cause. And for anyone watching this, again, I have a subscription to Microsoft 365, so I just use it because of that. But really anything from Google Docs, Word, any word processor software you can get your hands on, because I think OpenOffice had some things. Dare I say, Keynote may or may not have something similar, but I would recommend, again, if you're not a copyright or you don't have access to a copywriter or someone who can help you with your writing, as a designer, I definitely would recommend using these processors, finding a Grammarly plugin, and go to town. I would even recommend, if you are on LinkedIn, there's a few copywriting courses. I took some of those to, again, kind of understand how to talk about value or how to speak to target audiences for specific things, usually addressing their common pain points and how you can solve those, or maybe listing down services that would speak to that. I would recommend it, of taking those classes, just to kind of get a general idea, and then just practice. Again, if you're not, and I'm still trying to feel this out myself, I had about understanding the extent to how good you want to be at those skill sets, because on one end, as a graphic designer, you're oh wow, the name just slipped out my mind. Petrula, I think her name is. Now I gotta look for her name. So Matthew Encina did a talk with Petrula, who works at Art Center, I think, and she also, I think, is a designer as well. She had mentioned that the primary goal of a graphic designer is to build trust, and so this is done through your body of work. If there's anything that would indicate to somebody certain areas where you lack, so for spelling, grammars, and issues and stuff like that, you're still responsible for it by the end of the day, and you are there we go. Petrula Vrontakis. She had mentioned that if there's anything that would indicate that you're not reliable on something, that hurts your chances of being hired as a designer. And I'm still working those chops up. And spelling grammar is, in her case, an automatic disqualification. So be very, very careful. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because there's thousands of ways to go about it. I'm starting to find, so what works for me is, again, Microsoft Word processor. They even have like a feature somewhere on here where they can tell me how well like the quality of writing that I'm doing. All of this stuff that I should probably do a better job using. And with the Grammarly plugin, it helps you with not just spelling errors, but grammar and usage and all of that. And so just being very careful. And Grammarly also has, not only that it points out these issues, but it would also like give you improve grammar, spelling, clarity, engagement, delivery, and all this other stuff. So I'll get to that, to the meat and potatoes of that, when I'm done sort of writing out my thoughts. And for me, it's weird. When I type with, it's kind of like switch tasking. Like I'll think about what I have to say, and then I gotta stop and then remember word for word what I had just thought or said, and have to type it like that. So this dictation feature for me is awesome, because I can just talk, go back, and look at, okay, this was good, this wasn't all that great. And kind of move on from there. So let's see, the cause. Boom, boom. Okay. A big part of why we do this is to support community as well as talent, period. Although we enlist contemporary talent to help with your creative needs, comma, we also give back to the community, period. A portion of your profits go towards our socially focused creative community projects that advocate for the unheard and raise awareness on social ills or issues, period. One such example is our online exhibition focused on elevating the voices, comma, stories, comma, and narratives of the transgender community, as well as representation for any demographic, period. Another example is turning abandoned spaces into new interactive places of education, such as the PlayPad project we did for a local charter school that wanted to incorporate recess with the teachers' education plans, period. Considering us for your creative needs is more than just business, comma. It is about building community, comma, and building social influence, period. Through creativity. Okay, so through okay, so PlayPad. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's figure out what this video situation is going to be about, despite my personal shenanigans being on here. Let's see. All right. Whether it is project. All right. Whether it is a special event or a live stream or a webinar, our video services are available to any and all interested. We have a staff that is familiar with the social platforms and resources one could use to build a digital presence and an online audience using audiovisual content such as live streams. No, let's just stick with content. I feel like that's already wordy as is. Boom. Okay, cool. Debating what else about video work could be. You know what? Duh, messaging. We strive to elevate the messaging and voicing and stories that you and the communities you serve have, period. That already. Okay, great. All right, let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Our two-pronged approach. There's usually support the community, showing text. Ah, there we go. Profits goes towards showing text. Teachers here. Creativity. Services. Let me look. Yep, our photographers. Let's see what it is. What are we talking about when we talk about it? Want them to be told, yeah. Yep, sure, let's do it. Well, I guess. Okay, where did I put is? Our purpose and goal is, our purpose and goal are to help build communities. Okay, great. What is this about? So let's see. A creative service provider. Let's go ahead. Is a public benefit business and creative service provider focused on elevating voices, elevating your voice actually, because I want to make it about you, the reader. And solving your business problem through art, design, and tech. And actually, less tech, I'll just say art and design, because we are not a tech company, we do not deal with that. I will immediately reference you to Art Triad, which is a tech company, and that's their vision mission. So I will focus on art and design. Let's see. Yep. Yours. Where's the shown? R. Okay. I guess I can't differentiate between my R and R. I do not blame it at all. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So this is all of our stuff. Great. Now I have to think about. Okay, so this is what I was rambling on earlier. So with different communities, before I went down that rabbit hole talking about Petrula and the issue of spell checking and such. So as a designer and thinking about the skill sets that you need to have and sort of focus on, there's a variety of things. Of course, composition, use of color, being able to manage all of the elements to make the text readable and legible. Understanding the typeface that could best help with that. All of those things come into play. I think about sort of the limitations and ranges that are okay to have. So like I said, I am not a copyright, but I do understand some bits of business and marketing to start at least talking about art and design in a way that addresses business problems. Like, for example, talking about building a visual consistency, which will help you build brand loyalty amongst your consumers, which actually build brand loyalty amongst your consumers. Loyalty amongst your consumers. That sounds way better and more concise and to the point. So I understand some of that, but again, writing, my diction and grammar structures, completely over my head. So again, that's where I'm like, let's get a copyright to like look over this and kind of get feedback on, okay, does this speak to my audience and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the breakdowns of like what's included in the service. So services, or service includes and of course I spelled includes. Why? Okay. All right, includes. All right. Here. Okay, good. Is there something? One second. Something happened in my feedback. Okay. Okay, not as bad. Cool. All right. So service includes. Okay, cool. So let's see. And then let me just put in contact information. Information. GTR presents let's put in the number and then services at JTR presents art HTTP JTR presents art. And then like this can go. I'll worry about that later. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Services branding includes. Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and pop this in. Research and discovery. So, I keep getting distracted. All right. So here's what I mean about understanding the boundaries. So as a graphic designer, understanding the boundaries of what all includes into your service. It's more than just like we're not here to just make pretty pictures here, y'all. It's really there again, communicating your value to your target audience and consumers, and also articulating your voice, vision, and mission, values, and story. And so through all of the visuals. So in that, what all goes into that experience and what all goes in, and understanding what helps enhance that, but may or may not necessarily be your expertise. So for example, what I had mentioned before about those personas and understanding like the brand attributes and art directions, well, there's a lot of information that comes from there. Yes, we have discovery sessions where we talk about the brand attributes, which, okay, so from that, and as we're talking about it, so, hold on, ideation, just so that, for mechanics purposes of this of Word. Okay, so in your research discovery, we're going to talk about brand attributes. Target audiences. I need to understand your business goals, and so this is where some of the loophole happens. From my experience, again, working from with my background in arts administration, when you talk about your business goals, a lot of that comes from your marketing analysis and what have you done for your marketing and internal external analysis on the people you're working on. So this would include your SWOT analysis, which is your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which is both an internal and external sort of review and observation of you as a business entity. You also have what's called a PEST analysis, which is your political, economic, social, and technical analysis, and you need to know those because those are going to help inform what strengths and weaknesses do you have as a business or an organization, and what opportunities and threats are present to you. So for example, as you do your analysis about like what technology is out to the public that you could use as a business, and what opportunities does that open to you and what threat does that open to you. If you're a brick and mortar store that, let's say you're an apparel company with a brick and mortar store that does cash only. Okay, so in this PEST analysis, we all know that there are online e-commerce platforms that you could use like Salesforce. We know that you can use like even something as simple as PayPal or Square or Shopify. And that allows people to do your credit cards. I think you can do bank wiring, especially on PayPal at least. Oh, QuickBooks is another thing. And all of them have different benefits to help you as an operating business. So there's a lot of opportunities that those tech have. But here's the thing. If you don't have that and you only operate off of cash in that brick and mortar, then that's a huge threat to you. Another social, a sort of social and maybe even political part of the analyst would be like, okay, we're in a pandemic. So going back to that brick and mortar analogy, if you're only taking cash and you have a brick and mortar store, nobody's coming out there to see your stuff. Like, do you not have an online platform that you can just put stuff on and so people can browse and look at your wares and purchase it digitally, and all you got to do is ship it? And so that's why you have a lot of brick and mortar places closing down. You know, several of them, I think it's because of lack of using technology and being able to adapt to that. You also have economic situations like, yes, a lot of people are laid off. Last I checked, unemployment rate was at like 23% or something like that in the earlier half of the pandemic. That's close to the time of the Great Depression, y'all. Great Depression, I think, was like 25%, if I remember correctly, and that was significant. So I'll go fact check, or someone can fact check me in the chats, but I will fact check after the stream. But point being, you know, we're at an economic downturn. People are having a hard time finding jobs. With that said, who's going out to buy your stuff? You know, what other things are you doing? What other ways can you adjust? Or, you know, what can you do as a business that would that could help sort of adjust to all of this major challenge. So that's the whole point of a PEST and SWOT analysis. But that's more of stuff that like a marketer will tell you, a marketing analyst or a marketing researcher should tell you, and work with you on that. And so for me as a graphic designer, what does that all mean? Well, I just need to know that because that's going to influence your goals. If your goal is to increase the bottom line by X percent, and if your SMART goal or SMART objective is to increase your bottom line by X number percent in, let's say, in North Carolina, I need to be able to know that so then I can understand your strategy. Because if you have a strategy or method, say, you know, we see an untapped market in North Greensboro area, then I'm going to start thinking, okay, well, what's going on in North Greensboro? What does that environment look like? What do people there wear? Are they well off socioeconomically speaking, or are they not? Are they a particular ethnicity or not? Like, what's the makeup of the people in that area? What's the environment like? Because that's going to tell me about, are there any billboards there? If not, there's no point in doing a billboard design. with the pandemic, is there going to be a focus on print material or digital? Is there going to be for wayfinding if you have a store in those locations? You know, what's your wayfinding design look like, and do we need to worry about that? You know, your packaging, is there any packaging involved, and so on and so forth. So there's different applications to the designs that through your marketing research and knowing yourself as a business, we need to know that. So I would just say, in this research and discovery, there's your brand attributes, there's your target audience, and I would say business goals. So that's like at a bare minimum. And maybe I should make that note, like service at the bare minimum. Do not bold, please don't. Rats. Okay, cool, thanks. All right. So yeah, at the bare minimum. Because it can just add on. Like if you don't know or don't have any specific goals, and I'm just gonna say SMART goals. Let's start. There we go. SMART goals. And this also, I would even argue that this kind of is where the split becomes from a graphic designer to a brand strategist. A lot of graphic designers are making a shift and repositioning as brand strategists because they're finding themselves in these situations all the time. So it's like, again, we could make a logo for you, but there's also like 99 designs in Fiverr, and there's actually, Dad had sent me a website that made logos for you. Like you can just kind of sift through it and build your own logo and call it a day. So the idea of like making creative stuff just for that is only part of the battle. It's more so a lot of designers are switching over to brand strategy because it's about understanding how they are all connected together, how all your visuals connect to your language and communication as a business to your potential audience, donors, sponsors, supporters, contributors, whatever. And it entails a lot of this stuff. Like again, talking about your sorry, I drew a blank. Brain just farted. Talking about the people you want to serve, essentially. I'll move on. But so there's ideation, and so with this ideation, we are going to include logo. I cannot English today. Logo, style guide, and I kind of want to give more use to mock-ups because the mock-ups, their primary purpose is to just visualize what your brand could look like. But I'm more interested in if we're going to give out style guides as like the actual deliverable and your logo included. I really would want to have like the work files. So finished work files. Included, and these finished work files are essentially like the files that I make all the creative content. So if part of your marketing strategy or plan was to have like if you have direct mail as a marketing strategy that you want to make content for as we're doing this branding, then I would leave you the Adobe file or the Adobe Illustrator file or the even Affinity designer file. Or however file you need, maybe just leave it as an SVG or an ESP for you to open it up, do a little whatever editing software you have to open it up in those formats, do whatever small changes you need, export it to whatever you need it to be as a PNG or PDF, JPEG, whatever, for the printer, and they'll just print it. We want to give you a style guide because the style guide is like a set of guidelines. And I'm going to say style sheet. Yeah, style guide, style sheet. Because the style sheet is literally just one piece of paper that talks about your branding. Um, and again, if you pay me more, we can talk about the whole guide on how to use all of your visual elements. So Adobe, Affinity, Office, and Google. I think that's a fair asset to have. Which, for the record, I'm also thinking about doing some product development. Just since I have an online store anyway to sell artwork, I might as well just do a store to sell, business assets. So these would be the deliverables. So creative deliverables. Let's see. Can design digitally. Well, no, sorry, I'm getting tired. Can design additionally. Or additional deliverables. Yep, UX UI. Web design, packaging design, what else? Just thinking about what else to put in there. Because most people ask me for a website. I would say stationery. Stationery print. Yeah, stationery and print design. I could say social media content or digital presence content. I like that better. Digital presence. Because sometimes that's not necessarily just posts, or it could be something simple like your profile picture or your banner for your Facebook page. And this is great. I'm glad I'm doing this because this is giving me an idea about, with this rebranding, what to do with JTR Presents as I do this brochure. At least I have content and type that I can use in relation to all this. Yeah, so I can at least start focusing on that. And also just, again, thinking out loud what makes sense to sell. Oh, I guess detach work files. Maybe that could be a thing. This also could be personalized photography. Stock. For now, let's leave that be, because I was say and more, and I'm like, let's not oversell. Because again, this is going to be a project. These are going to be for projects that are the lowest thing I will offer as far as services is $2,000. Because for me, $2,000 to whip all of this up in a month is fine for me personally, especially if we already have the marketing discovery. As much of that is done, and I'm actually limiting it to just these three things because anything more than that, or the things that would influence that, I'm going to start thinking about, well, okay, I'm going to get into that marketing analyst mindset. And again, there's friends that I can talk to about that. So this will be my cut. So, and this is kind of the thing. I was talking to Dad about this. So again, understanding your boundaries as a designer and how much do you need to know before you start turning into another profession. I thought there was a line, and there seems to not be a line. It's all ebb and flow. Because again, if I'm really focused so much on the writing and the written content and so on, at some point it's like, okay, then what separates me from a copyright? Or to what extent do I need to care before I'm like, why not I just get a copyright? Same thing with my illustrations. Like whenever I illustrate and I want to do something that's photorealistic, I can't help but think, well, if I'm going to draw something as real photorealistic as possible, then just take a friggin' photo, you know? So the cutoff seems to be very personal. Like everyone gets to establish that for themselves. And that's kind of what I'm thinking out. And so writing this down helps me visualize and be like, yep, I can do that for $2,000 within a time span of a month. And which, oh, that's a lot. I don't know if that should be, like I said, each of these projects I really don't want to do for less than $2,000. The photography, it depends what I'm doing. If it's just a 2-hour session, okay, $400, fine. But if it's a wedding, yo, a brother needs to get some dough here. Like, I don't want to do a wedding for less than $2,000. So I think about what value do I give with that, both tangible and intangible deliverables. So that seems to be an ever-growing thing. Let's see. Photography, let's see. This would include, I would say, 20 20 high resolution edited / retouched photos. At minimum. Let me just shorten it, at minimum. Oh. Okay, fine. Minimum. Boom. How about this? There we go. Moving on in life. Boom. Cool. All right. Ooh, yes, high on the correctness and engagement and delivery. Clarity, I'm gonna have to go figure that out. And this is the kind of cool thing I like about Grammarly. It makes me kind of competitive. Like, anyway, getting back to here, high-res photos. And I would just say the work, all the digital work files. original unedited photos. So that way, if they want to, design it in their own special way, they can, and that's cool. I actually so for me personally, and this is also part of my target audience, like I really do appreciate it when clients are participating in the creative process. Like I appreciate the trust when they're like, here's my money, do what you will. But I also appreciate it more when they're actually present with their design. Like, yeah, I like this, I like that, or oh, this feels too aggressive because of the color usage or these different images, or hey, your design. The last client I had, he actually drew out the logo and had said, I want something in the ballpark of this. It feels like this. What are your thoughts? And so I shared with him my thoughts, and it made me ask questions about, okay, well then, what is the logo being applied to? Because you told me this was going to be on your website, but it seems like it's going to be applied to other things. So then you told me about his apparel, you told me about his clothing, and so we started going back and forth with ideas, and to me, that is the funnest thing about design, and about that creative process, when your clients are actually participants and you're more of a creative advisor while you watch them birth the brand that they're then going to have to deal with for the next 10, 20 plus years. So hopefully, if I did my job right, I'll say this: if you're using any of my creative stuff more than 5 years after I made it, I feel like I did a pretty good job. That goal is about to switch to 10 in the next couple of years. I still want to get a few more projects under my belt and under the belt of JTR Presents. And then if folks are using this stuff for 5+ years or 10 years or 20 years, great. I did my job. Please send a royalty though, low key. All right, so let's see. We photographed for that works. We photographed for okay. So we photographed for. We can do that. Weddings. Bar bat mitzvahs. And let me go actually find out how that's properly spelled. Bar mitzvah, yes. Come on. And I think it's bat mitzvah. Is it B-A-T or B-O-T? I don't see anything correcting me, so bat mitzvah. Okay. No! I don't know what that is, but it effed it up. I'm just gonna just keep text. Just keep the text only. There we go. So bar bat mitzvah, weddings, corporate events, couples portraits, better yet, how about this? I'm just going to do portraits. I'll get back to that in a second. So weddings, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, corporate events, portraits, and yeah, sure, product. Okay, cool. And now for here. So these would include your live streams. These would include. I'm just thinking about your live stream, thinking about your promotions. Let's see. Webinar instructions. Or not instructions, presentations. Because that's pretty cool. Like, fun fact, PowerPoint designs or presentation design as a corporate service, dope. Totally cool. I'm actually really interested. And, oh shoot, you know what, that, well, I didn't do that, so I'll just say templates. 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 All right, cool. PowerPoint presentation. I was thinking about what else. Live stream. I guess podcast. For now, and cool, and movie production. So that's what I'm looking at and looking towards. Cool, cool, and cool. All right. Oh yeah, this contact information though. Let's go ahead. Word. Okay, hold. Damn, they're getting crunk out there. Jeez. Anyway. Sorry, someone had their music on blast in the street. That was pretty fun. Alright, so I think that covers everything. So now I have the type. Let me go ahead and save this, because if this goes, I'll be pissed. That is here. Here. Fun fact, so this folder for Style Guide Kit version 1 and 2, I originally started this with version 1 when I signed up for a class from the future with Ben Burns, and he had, as part of the class, he had given these assets. I definitely recommend that you sign up to his class for that. It was super helpful, at least for me, at least getting clarity on different structures and just this, like, even stuff like this is making me think about the process and what sort of premium services do I want to add on to or make available to clients, and just think about how do I want to build out the services and products that I offer. Okay, so assets from clients, documentation. Yeah, this will work. Copy for brochure content. Okay, boom and boom. All right, wonderful. All right, so we did all the spell checking. So this is just where we're going to be for right now. Let me copy. And if I want to be really cute, shoot. Okay, so you have this text here, and we're just going to paste the intro, or we're going to make this intro component. Cool. So possibly. So it just occurred to me that these. I have to restructure some things real quick. Okay. Here, okay. Oh. Okay, cool. Oh, good. So, theoretically, this is still playing. Oh, great. This is also a live radio, so we're okay. Cool. Again, I already wrote it in the description and everything else. Once more, I do not own the rights to these songs. I will, however, credit every single artist that I can, and reference you their links after this chat is done. Meanwhile, while this is happening, I guess I can kind of spill my thoughts and be a stream of consciousness for a bit. So I was talking with a friend a little earlier today about this balance between work-life. Like, instead of work-life balance, there's work-life integration, but in demonstrating that or learning how to learning more about that and how to incorporate that in my life and just being that thing, I'm in a weird space. So, for example, there's this exhibition I've been working on to advocate for the transgender community because, again, wanting to feed several birds with one stone of advocating for a community that has been traditionally unheard, but also doing it to build, again, demonstrate what I've learned as a curator and as an administrator over the past 10 years through grad school and just individual projects. And we had this conversation about being authentic and maintaining authenticity, as well as being transparent, really. And so with all that's been going on and talking about the project, it's just been on my mind. It's been one of the bigger focus for me in my career, but also in my personal passion for advocating. And it's weird because it's also like I'm a person. Like, I like camping. I like going out bar hopping. I like watching movies and doing a bunch of stuff. Like, not everything always has to be about work or the work that I'm doing, no matter how passionate I am. And he had a fair point. As long as you're being authentic, it's totally fine. Okay, good. It's only when your intentions are off, or trying to do a sales pitch or trying to get people to sign up for something where it's like, okay, no thanks. Time and place. And I think about, we're even thinking about doing he was thinking about doing a podcast while I'm thinking about doing a live stream, so that's pretty fun. Let's see where this goes. but but it's just really just being able to have conversations, just cutting up with folk, connecting with folks, talk about real things, and also just kind of enjoy each other's presence and just being present. And that's kind of a common thing I noticed with some of the podcasts and talk shows I've been watching, like with Whitney Cummings and with Phil Fantino or Fantano. Oh Lord. I hope I did not screw up his name. That does not look like him. No. Let's see. Nope. Oh god. Okay, hold on. I'm on a tangent now. I need to go find his name. I will be horrified. And embarrassed if I couldn't get his name right. I hope I do not piss off the internet. Hold on. Yes, Squarespace. Awesome. I already have it. Not sponsored, but one day will. DeFranco. Philip DeFranco. Oh my gosh. I feel so embarrassed now. Okay. Philip DeFranco and Whitney Cummings. I've been listening to a lot of their podcasts with like other special guests, YouTubers, and whatever. And a common thing I've been noticing with them, a common thing I've been noticing with them is this notion of being present and of recognizing your own well-being and authenticity, or being authentic with yourself and how it would relate to others. And then just for them, just vibe, like for the hosts and the guests to just vibe. And I think that's what I really like about that, about the podcast. It's just folks vibing with one another. Let's see. 5, 6. Okay, great. And that's partly why I like Livestream. I like sort of peeking into these personal narratives or personal experiences people are having. And, okay, branding, panel 15. So this is branding 1. Matter of fact, let's go by faster. Branding 2. Branding 3. Branding 4. Branding 5. And then branding 6. Okay, great. Let's do this. This. The dash of this. And a bit of that. Okay, cool. This is going to be awesome. So with this, again, why I love Figma, just being able to build components, do things one time, and have this baby cascade across the whole thing. Love it. I'm in love. I am in love. Duplicate. Rename. Oh shoot. There we go. Photography, video. Okay, and now branding. Ah, crap. Oh well. I'll worry about it later. I forgot to put in the export factor for the frames, but that's okay. We'll just do that right now. So for these, I will want to export them whenever I want to export them into JPEGs, 4 times the JPEGs. And do another one, it's just a PNG. So that way, because typically whenever you print stuff out, like if I usually use Kinko's, and what they end up doing is they just need your content usually as a PNG or a JPEG file. It automatically converts to a PDF, and they'll print it for whatever reason. There's some technical capabilities about this, like this could print out as a PDF, but they can't do a multi-page PDF. It will just set separate PDFs for some reason. So I find it easier to just, once I export them as images, I will highlight them, open them in Preview or something if I'm on my Mac. If I'm on my PC, I forget how to do it, but there's a way to open them and then save them as a single PDF with multiple pages. With the Mac, I have to open them up in Preview, highlight them, go to Print, and go to Save as a PDF, and then it becomes one document with all of that. So still playing around with that, but just a little fun fact for anybody who is designing stuff like this. All right, so unfortunately, this is the bit of the tediousness and redundancy that I'm talking about. Like, had I done this before I duplicated those pages, this would have already been done. So, oh well, lesson learned. You live and you learn, right? Let's see. So that's one PNG, and nope, I don't want that, but I do want this. JPEG by 4 without whatever this is. Boom. Same concept. Here, a bit of here, a dash of here, and a sprinkle of this. Okay, great. With all of these. Here we go. And now, whew. And also what I love about this, because this is a web base as well as it has its own software, so God forbid, but if this thing falls apart or explodes or whatever, it's saved in their cloud, so I can just log into Figma and all my stuff's together. Love it. I've been told Adobe stepped their game up, Adobe XD, because I was originally using that, and then a client got me on Figma a few years ago, and I've been fan Figma. Figma fan? Fan Figma? We're just gonna say Figma fan. I've been a Figma fan for a good minute. But recently, some folks have been telling me about this XD business, and I'm curious, and I'm kind of curious what's going on with all that. So anybody who's used to Adobe XD, please let me know. Like, anybody who's used to Adobe XD, please tell me why you like it. Do you like it more than Figma, or do you think they're both pretty okay? They're both great, to my understanding. And for me personally, I just like Figma because the user interface to me seems more friendly. Again, I'm comparing it to Adobe XD from 2016, or was it 2017? I think it was 2017. 2017, 2018, Adobe XD, which I think is different from Adobe XD now in 2021. But at that time, Figma was pretty user-friendly, cloud-based, and they do have a subscription where you have to pay, but it's not as restrictive. For the free account isn't as restrictive than the Adobe, I thought. And again, to each their own, but I always find it interesting, again, just to see what people's situations are, but also to get an understanding of, how do businesses and service providers, for lack of a better word, appeal to their audiences. Let's see, where did I put you here. Now, I'm going to copy this here. All right, contact information. Okay, great. So by default, these will be things. No, it's fine because I can change it. Anyway, these are going to be text that I use throughout the entirety of the pamphlet, so that'll be fun. Oh, and before I continue, do I have to? I think I have to. Yeah, okay. Yes, to keep that simple. So I can just go here. I have to reroute these because these were based off the old components that I just used for photography. Thankfully, because I placed this panel order though, I don't have to fiddle around finding stuff. I can just go scroll down, boom. Nice and easy. So even when I screw up, it's really not that bad, nor that big of a deal. And theoretically, we're about to find out. Oh no, this is still kind of a problem. Actually, yeah, no, it's still kind of a problem. No worries. Actually, no, it's not a problem because I still have my handy dandy brochure paper from before, so I remember the order. This was the back, so I don't stay forgetting. This is the front. Okay, cool. I guess I could be cute and do more. Since we're doing a digital and a print version, there's going to be some differences. But that's okay. That's totally okay. Okay, cool. So we are going to do the front. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rats. There we go. 3, 6, 1. 3, 6, 1. Okay. Yay. Well, actually, and that was the other thing. Nope. My bad. Order was wrong. It was just simply these. There we go. Boom. With this as a 0. And now we have to figure that out. There we go. Great. And now here. Thanks. Put a 0 here. And I'll move it here. Okay, great. Boom. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now, theoretically, we go down to the branding. Yeah, here we go. We go down to the branding. And, oh, God bless. Okay, never mind. Before I do this, okay, these are the video panels. The branding panels I did not do, so let me fix this. Okay, good. We're good now. We're on point. Nope, still have that same problem. Crap. There we go. Okay, boom, boom, because I know this is just going to be the regular order here. Regular order here. Three, 6, 1, and then 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5. Okay, cool. This may look tedious. I would still say it's better in the long run because again, if you had to do a project like this separately without like the cascading feature this thing has, I mean, this would just be torment. This would just be torture. There we go. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, great. That looks good. Now for this one. We're so close. Two, 4, and then 5 for the front. 3, 6, 1. Let's see, 3, 6, 1. Okay, great. What else do I need on here? Clearly the logo. I kind of need that in life. All right. Okay, gorgeous. Debating if I should make this a component because I like the idea of making it different. I think I'm just going to leave it be for right now. Quick question though. How much of this can I... Oh, I can control all the things. Yes. Wait, what? No, stop. Stop it. I just need to... Nope, that's the box. Oh, okay. So this is the JTR monogram. Logo framing. I'm not entertaining any of this. So I'm just going to say presents. That's actually good. No, let me leave that one. I'm just going to leave that one. Well, no, I'm going to flatten it. Can I flatten it? I'm just going to do that. Presents. That's just what we're going to do in life. All right. For now, yeah, why not? We'll just go ahead and make this component too. So, hi. Great. Cool. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Alright, so now I can play with different things, and here I can sketch out ideas if I wanted to. Is there a way for me to, oh, yep, pencil maybe? Alright, so for this, okay, so for this, we have that. For photography, one day I'm gonna get my camera set up. I just gotta find a way to. I gotta find a way to keep my Canon Rebel TI3. Right now it's on batteries. I wonder if there's a substitute that I can put into the battery pack that's a plug-in, so that theoretically my camera doesn't run out of batteries. I just have to worry about it overheating. So that way I can, or just get a camera that just works better with my computers, a webcam or something. So I can just have it shown from wherever I want to like draw. But for the sake of this, let's do this. Okay, so 163, sure. All right, so with this first one, I kind of want, for photography, I really want there to be my logo, very small, and then so that with photography. Is there an erase feature on here? No. No. Okay, we're just gonna have to deal with that later in life. Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'll deal with that later in life. Ooh, yeah, no. Do that. Okay, boom, boom. So photography, and then I kind of want to put our contact information immediately here. So what is a shortcut for this? Can you give me a shortcut? Okay, so Shift P. Okay. So I want to do like a QR code that takes you straight to booking. So if you wanted, oh no, got kicked off of Facebook. That's tragic. Okay, cool. But I'm still on that Twitch though. I'll have to find out what's going on. Oh, maybe not. I mean, theoretically, I'm still going, which is odd. Maybe Sorry, I got distracted. But it looks like looks like Facebook kicked me off. I'm hoping it's just a time limit and nothing else. I'll be very upset if they're giving me some BS about copywriting. I haven't said anything, thankfully, so I'm not too concerned. Anyway, but this Twitch dough is still going, so here we are. Let's see. Anyway, so what I'm thinking of doing is having a QR code that takes you straight to my booking. So immediately it's like an ask first. Either that, or what we could do is at the back. So book now, you have our line of text, like our contact information or whatever, and then a QR code there, which would free this up for something a little more personal. Like, again, I want to have that personal touch to folks. We're more than just a service for you that wants your money. We actually are a business that cares. So I want it to show, so like JTR presents photography, have like a profound or intense image, or just an image that I think would communicate, or an image I think that would communicate either value or feeling or an impact. And oh, that's concerning. Okay, so maybe I got kicked off of something for other reasons. Okay, anyway. So I think about what exactly would resonate with a potential client with photographs. And I'm thinking maybe it's something that's rotated, kind of like an exhibition in and of itself. So, you know, version 1 would have one photograph, version 2 would have another, or if I decide to break it up for different, photography portraits, I could do it that way. So for now, I'll just have like a profound image here, and then I kind of want to leave a message, like sort of the general message. Got a story? Let's record it. Or let's capture it. Got a memory? Let's capture it. Oh, so weird. I don't know why this is acting this way. Okay, great. Let's see. Got a memory. Let's capture it. Later, Tim? Or are you staying or going? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, they have a community library? Oh. Fair enough. Yeah, I think Same. I'm digitizing my books, and I'll probably do that later. I'm live streaming right now. Yeah, I mean, it's a live design session. I'm rebranding JTR, so just kind of building out what does that look like and so on. I'll be doing more of this on Sundays. Yeah. No one. So yeah, no, it's yeah. I mean, this is literally like my third or fourth stream actually doing this. So yeah. Well, let's talk more about that, because I like this idea of podcasting ideas, brainstorming, like a kind of in session moment. So let's see. But yeah, so I'm about to hop off in a bit because I gotta leave soon. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'll catch up in a bit. Okay, cool. So at least that's some sketch ideas. So again, booking now with this information. I'm not sure exactly what this could be for, because I'm just thinking about other finishers. Maybe let's see. Let's look at the text. There we go. Okay, good. Let's see. We talk about the cause. We talk about our intro. Let's see. No, it's all good. Let's see. You know, I'm. Ooh. I could always use a good folder. Please. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, wow. Thank you. Yeah. I love this. And this is from the center?
Yeah, I had a couple of them left over from executive leadership programs inside.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna put this to good use. Thank you. Actually, this just gave me an idea for some cool stuff. So yeah, thank you. Um,
See, that's what a co-working space is all about.
yes, it's exactly what a co-working space is all about. Let's see.
The ideas can all have sex with each other. Create new ideas.
Yes, exactly.
That was in the book I was listening to on audio.
Oh god. Yeah, I'll catch up in a minute. Alright, this might actually be a good spot to leave off for a bit once I finish these drawings. So the third panel, so after the second panel, let's say the third panel is going to be the third panel is going to be the description. The description of the service, in this case photography, and then sort of the service pricing and listing. I'm just going to say deliverables. And then for now, I'm just going to cue those in. That's going to be it for right now. I'm going to end the stream though. Again, I don't know what happened. I think Facebook got enough of me. But yeah, if for anyone who watches this, thank you for tuning in. I'll be doing more of this. Would love to have a conversation about design, industry, and branding for businesses, organizations, and personal brands. Again, my name is Jordan. It's great. It's great. Thank you for having you, for being here, and I hope to see you on the stream soon.